Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Um, got a special video here for you. Um, I forgot one key element in my Bitcoin presentation today. So instead of just trying to do another quick video and then send it out, I'm just gonna, do it here so you guys can, catch the last piece of it. This kind of brings everything full circle. But I got an email in the process, and I wanted to share that with you because these emails are very, very important, and I get a lot of these every week, and I want you to really see, what goes on and what the struggle is. Okay, this is the one I just got it a little over an hour ago. It says, "Hey Joe," and yeah, people still call me Joe, even though my name is there, but that's fine. I'm average Joe, I'm Ed, I'm whoever. It doesn't matter to me. But he says, "Let me first start by saying that I love your honesty and transparency you show every day. I also love how you teach and how you can relate so well with us. I know you're the real deal." Most of my emails start out like that, and then they get bad. So it's like they're buttering me up to tell me, you're a piece of crap. But at least that's the first thought I get. But he says, "Well, the next part of this email is not so positive. I watched your video where you were promoting the fourth quarter program. It inspired me to give it a try. I've been trading since March with nothing but losing days, weeks, and of course months. This is how it has been for me." And he shares with me what he did in March, April, May, June, July, August. He took some time off, looks like. Came back in September, and this is when we joined. Um, I think he joined toward the end of September, early before we got into the fourth quarter. But he says, as I said, I joined you in October and started learning your process and strategies. But as you can see, I'm still struggling to make a profit. I've had more green days, but no green weeks yet. I came close last week, but this week I've just missed it again. I don't know what else to do. Please help. What can I do? What did you do when you were going through this? Everyone's watching to see what I will do. They say they say all I'm they all say I'm wasting my time and money. All I seem to do is struggle. Do I need to sign up mentoring? What do I do? All right, Ron, I hope I don't upset you for sharing this, but it didn't have your last name and I kept your email out, so it's still somewhat anonymous. But let me tell you what I did. I took these numbers and I just put them in a spreadsheet and gave me a chart to where I could visually see what's going on. And this is what we all need to do. Now, if we're struggling and we're trying to figure out where we're going, we need data. That's why I like TraderView so much, because it gives me all this data and it gives it to me in a visual depiction that can help me improve my trading. So I looked at this and I see the last 2 months. Now, he had been watching my videos and stuff all along, but when he got in the community and started participating in the education webinars and everything, look at the improvement that you've done. Yeah, you're still red. Yes, we're going to struggle. Okay. We're going to have more losing weeks. It's just the way it is. But my first advice to you is keep struggling. Keep struggling. Because, like I said, you're going to have these losing weeks. It's all part of the game. You're going to have bad days. But you can struggle through this. Do what you have to do so that you can be free. You can continue to struggle, you can push through it and continue to fight, and at the end of this, you can be free and live the life that you want to live, or you can quit now and struggle the rest of your life. Because once you start something like this, once you start this pattern, it's going to continue. And it's going to cause issues until you address it in the rest of your life. So press past it. I mean, I know it's going to hurt. I know you've got people looking at you saying, look, I told you you're going to lose your money and all of that. If you buy into that, if you let that eat into you, and you're thinking about that while you're trying to trade, that's detrimental to you. Okay, you got to put all that stuff out of your mind and push through this and take your job one trade at a time, one day at a time. But just struggle through it. Just push through it. If you need some help and you feel mentoring is something that you need, just shoot me an email and we can talk about it. We'll Skype about it for a little bit and see if that's what you really want to do. But push through it. Keep struggling. And that's what I did. I use the fact that everybody's depending on me. My family and my wife, they all supported this. Even though they may not have felt 100% confident, they believed in me. And I knew that if I quit, I'd be letting them down. And even if they thought that I wouldn't do it, or that I couldn't make anything, or that this was a joke, I would use that to fuel my fire to keep me driving on. Now, you don't think about this stuff in the middle of a trade. You don't do that. You think about it at the end of the day when things may not have gone your way. And you need some encouragement. You need something to drive you into grinding more. You think about that. You think about what's inside of you. Because it's there. That dream's not going to go away. You can subdue it. You can allow it to get beat into submission, but it's still going to be there. So, why not do what you need to do now to get to the next level? That's my advice. So let's look at what I was talking about. What I skipped on the Bitcoin is I wanted to talk about GBTC. I talked about all of the stocks that I'm watching as it relates to Bitcoin. And we know you can't trade Bitcoin on the market, regular stock market exchange. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, they have their own unregulated, decentralized exchange that they trade on. So if you want to trade Bitcoin, you have to, get involved in that. But this Grayscale's Bitcoin Investment Trust is the first publicly quoted security solely invested in, and it gets its value derived from the price of Bitcoin. Now, it's an OTC. I know it's got NASDAQ OTH, which is not on the NASDAQ. This is just a OTC designation. It tried to get on the New York Stock Exchange a couple months ago, but it got slapped down. The guy who founded it, or either is in charge of it, I can't remember, he's got a bad name on Wall Street, and they're just not having it from him. Plus, they're still kind of skeptical of this Bitcoin because it is, like I said earlier this morning, it's not a legitimate currency. It's not backed by gold or silver or anything. It's not backed by any government. So everybody still feels that it's not a legitimate currency, but it is gaining some legitimacy. But this fund is a more mainstream way for traders and investors to that want to get into this, to bypass that Bitcoin specific, exchange. The BIT, the BIT or the Bitcoin Investment Trust, it enables you to gain exposure to the price movement of Bitcoin through a regular investment vehicle like we trade every day in the stock market. So I'm just talking about us that are trading in the stock market. Now, those that trade futures and stuff like that, it's going to be different for you. But for us, I don't trade options, I don't trade futures or anything, I just trade stocks. So this gives me an option of trading a security that I'm used to trading that's going to, move with the movement of Bitcoin. And it gives me I will be more comfortable doing it. Not to say that I'm trading this, I'll be more comfortable doing it. So another thing this does is going this route, it'll give you some, more visibility and safety. It may help bring a little bit of liquidity to it, but we'll look at the chart in a minute and you'll see it's not a whole lot of volume in this. So the shares, they track the Bitcoin market price less the fees and expenses. Up until the first of this year, the first of this month, we had shares outstanding 1868.7. And let me see if I can find an update. I don't have it here. And the Bitcoin per share is, 0.0919. So and one of the good things about this is the shares of the BIT, they're eligible to be held in certain IRAs, Roth IRAs, and other brokerage and investor accounts. But this is a OTC, so you got to take it for what it's worth. The fact that it can't get listed is one of the things that is keeping me from even looking to try and trade this. Even as a day trade, it's just something I wouldn't look at. And here's the red flag here. You'll have to pay big for any benefits or potential benefits, as the BIT sports a huge premium. The price of one share of the fund is going to be 51% higher than the price of the Bitcoins held per share. It's kind of risky for me. Too risky for me. So I'm not saying I'm trading this. I shared with you guys this morning the stocks I'm looking at and what they relate to and why I'm choosing that over something like this. And you can see we don't really have a whole lot of volume. This is a daily chart. So there's not a whole lot of volume in this trust. It still kind of trades kind of volatile. But who knows? This may, as Bitcoin gains some type of legitimacy and some type of trust, this may do a little bit better. But like I said, this is an OTC, and I know I have a bad taste in my mouth for OTCs. I just don't touch them. But I wanted to share this because this is a big part of what we're talking about this morning. And I didn't mean to leave this piece out. All right, so that's all I got for today, just to kind of sum up what I talked about earlier, or either add this to, because I kind of left it out. But you guys have a great evening, and I will get with you tomorrow morning.